Hi guys! Today I'm gonna show you how to do this design right here using all of my custom nail art product from my shop at www.𝐻𝐫𝐭.shop. I'm 𝐻𝐫𝐭 and welcome to our online nail art class. So this design, I am gonna show you the penguin and I'm gonna show you these fingers. Now, I'm not gonna show you this because I have a whole video for that design alone. Is this nail right here. I call it 𝐀𝐫𝐭 Crush. Okay, and I have a whole another lesson for it. So the foundation for the penguin is going to be a magnetic cat eye, and it's called Moonlight magnetic cat eye. I apply all over these nails. And you don't need any black background unless you want to. It's not gonna change the look much. It's just give the depth a little bit darker depth, like a darker shadow around it. But for this penguin design, I want it to be light. So I'm just apply over clear nail or natural nail. If you were to do acrylic or gel, then I am going to take out a magnet, okay? Demagnetize it completely by swiping over it like that. Then I am going to use the head of my magnet from the bottom. I'm coming up one direction. That will layering it up just like that. And if you like this like that, that's fine. Or you can pull it into the left side just a little bit by taking the magnet. Now how you tilt is up to you. It's going to interfere with the glare. See, if you do like this, it might pulling it toward the magnet. Well, if you do this, it might push it away. Go slow. Let's make sure this side is a little more clarity before we pulling it to the other side. Okay, just there you go. Okay, do the bottom just a little bit and continue to push it upward. But now you see there's more on the left side just because you're pouring it over. So the left side, there's more glare on the left, and you can just keep doing it over and over until you get a desired look. And when you do, you can kill for 60 seconds. Oh, look at that, how beautiful. Here. So let's talk about how we're gonna do this little penguin. Now, we have to debate on what gel to use, one stroke liner or art gel. Since art gel have a smooth consistency and one stroke liner have a sharp consistency, we are going to choose art gels. I'm starting now with a 10mm liners, and I am dipping it in brush conditioning cleanser just to make sure that all the bristles are loose so gel can move in and out of my brush easier. Then I'm taking out a dip and dab cup and my black art gels. I am going to distribute it on here. I never just dip in the bottle and swipe it a little bit. First of all, it's gonna make it messier. And it's gonna make the bottle look like a hot mess by the end of it. So don't do that. And if you want, you can even take a scooper and scoop it out. There, you can do that. And in the nail art palette, you will have room so you can twist from left to right, just to fan out all your hair bristle, and the gel can load into the brush better. So this is like a process called saturate your brush. Then you can start stroking it out to make it slimmer, but now it's already packed with gels. See, people miss the first step a lot. Most of the learning artists out there, they miss that spot. They thought that people just dip it in and stroke it like that, but technically people dip it in, stroke it, which is very fast, so you probably don't see that, and then you just stroke it out. That way your gel can be smoother when you try to design. And I am going to start out with a circle. Leave room for the hat. You know the hat gonna be here. Leave room for it. And paint it a circle. Now you might be like, oh my God, that's really, really fast circle. So I'm gonna guide you through this. First of all, where I'm gonna start, give me just a second. So to paint the circle, first of all, you use your head of your brush, okay? And people love to like lay it down like that and drag it. And there will be a time when you do that, is when you do line work and stuff like that, you can really press it down. But first, you're sketching right now. So you just use the tip of your brush and you just move. That's why it's lighter for you to do that. Because right now you're kind of sketching out a circle, and if you press too hard, it's going to make your circle messy. Okay? And always go backward. Don't try to make like the whole circle. Break it apart like this. Going backward once. Going down here. Going backward up. See how I break it down? And then 4 apart, make a circle. Okay? Not a perfect circle, but a circle. Now, in the middles, I am going 1 line down, not too far, not to half of the face, to examine your design, okay? And this one, I am curving. Okay. And this part, a lot of people could go wrong if they're beginners. Let's say this is a circle. And when you go in 1 line down, now a lot of people, when they curve, they be like, they do this. I trained people before. I know exactly what they're gonna do. They do this, and they be like, is that perfect? No, it's not perfect. Okay. Penguin is, look at that, it's round all the way. So this way you have to train your eye on what you're looking at, because if you're looking at the black, you're gonna doing this forever like that. Like, is this okay? Is it perfect? I going through all that with people. Is it perfect? So take your eye away from the black. I want you to look at this negative space right there and see if your curve is perfect. See? Look. Don't look at the black. Look at the negative space and go 1 swipe over. Now you can see how beautifully curved it is. So train your eyes, okay? That is a very important one. It might change your life. If you are struggling with art, that might be a really big thing right there. Just depend on what you're looking at. Very, very important. I train people, so I have experience on what people would do. And I guarantee you a lot of people are doing that. Just look at the black and just keep fixing it. If you're lucky. Some people don't even fix it. Some people don't even know that it's not good. They just know the penguin not look good at the end, but they don't know that is because of that. So, okay. Make it all the way smooth. I am painting the outline. It's unnecessary. I can just be happy with what I already got. but I want to make it fancy. This is an option. Okay, I want the outline around the penguin to be prominent. That's extra, but I'm extra anyway. But you don't have to do that. You can be happy with this. A lot of people will be happy with just that. Now, doing this is called an elevation. An elevation is when you become hot in your town. You can pay attention to your detail a little more. And low detail like this can be a big difference between a non-viral set and an Instagram viral set, just because of it's called paying attention to the details. Okay, make it way better. See, now it's prominent. It looks like a sticker. Yeah, that is what I should start out with. It looked like a sticker. Versus before, it looked like you were painting it at it. Okay, now the body of penguin. So take a look. Stop. Okay, if you were to copy this, you have to examine first. So you have the eye obviously is right in the middle of the circle, which is a big help. That's easy. Eye right here, eye right here. Mouth is not in the middle of this distance. It's more like 1/3. It's very close to the eyes. And I think that's what make it beautiful. More cartoon, I think make it beautiful is the big forehead. And the mouth, the closer it is to the eyes, the more pretty it is. I don't know why. It just... So you have to look at the body. Okay. Now, a lot of people... let me show you. It's a circle. Again, I'm coming back to that circle. A lot of people would just start out like right here. Bam. A big circle. Okay? Now, hold up there. Look at it again. It's not like that. The body is almost identical to the face. That's just another thing that makes cartoon cute. The smaller the body, the bigger the head, the smaller the body, is the cutest. So they don't have big body. Their body are tiny. If you really look at it, you see the head and the body are almost identical. Sometimes the body might be smaller than the head. So what's wrong here? Where might I go wrong? I'm just diving into it. Let me finish this side so maybe it'll be easier for the eyes, for the untrained eyes. Now, I'm starting right here. You know where this is? This is like almost on the outside of the circle of the head. But if you're really looking at it, it starts almost on the inside part, like right here. See, if you take this corner and you just trace it along up here, you will touch the eyes. So when you look at the eye and the position, you know that it's not on the outside of the head like this. Not like that. But it's more like in the inside. Okay? The inside part. So instead of starting out all the way here, you should look at the design and decide to start out in here. That'd be way better, right? So that will give you a room to, when you curve into a circle, the circle will be just like the head. Where if you already start out here, you're gonna curve into a circle and the circle just look way bigger than the head. So position. Of course, there's no wrong or right. If you have a big body, that's fine too. It's just I'm teaching you how to look at design, and that is a big problem when people do character design, is they just don't know where to look. So your design, when it come out, it just not look right. And that happened to a lot of people, where it just not look right. And they don't know why it's not look right. It because of composition like this. Proportion, everything matters when it comes to building the characters. We have to make sure that this penguin is the cutest. Okay, so I have a circle. Now, I know, you will say, oh, I don't know how to even draw a perfect circle. I know you will say that too. And I promise you, when you have the right brush, 10 millimeter right now is sold out, but let me check the dates. Right now is Sunday, November 16th. So it will be in stock in a month. If you're watching this in the future, then don't worry about that. It shouldn't be out of stock then. But right brush, right gels, please. Yes, because one stroke liner gonna be more difficult than art gel. It's a light, sharp gel. But this is a heavier, smoother gel, so it work for you. This is amazing for beginner. You'll love this. Trace it just to make the line more prominent. So our work is more fancy. Brush yield material matters. And I go slow. Don't try to show up. Don't try to go fast. That's probably another one of your problem. You know that we are diving into this with curve, and curve have more direction than straight. Straight are just one direction. A straight line have one direction, where curve have multiple direction. Just like when you're driving, isn't one of my example is if you drive on a highway, a straight line, you can go very fast, right? 80 mile, 90 mile per hour. But if you were turning into McDonald's parking lot in the suburban area, you cannot do 80 or 90. You get into accidents. You have to slow your speed down. Same with these curves. Slow your speed down so you have chance to move. Let me clear this. Clear for 60 seconds. This is what I'm talking about. So straight line, right? Like that. I can go fast like that. It's really fast, right? It's one direction. Curve is like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. It slowly alter its direction all the way down. So there's more time. You need more time, and you need to slow down. That's also another hidden gems. I love to design character like this, because I get to teach you about hidden gem, which is very important. Now, I need white. That's another thing that makes people nervous, is they just don't know where to look. Like their eye will looking at this little triangle right here, and they're looking at the eye and the mouth and the wings and the feet, and they'll be like, oh God, that is so much. Like the hat. No, you have to break it down. This is a circle. This is another circle. Break it down like that. Fill it white, and then worry about the eyes later and the mouth later. See? Easy breezy. So I am going in with white art gels now. Okay. And I want to take a paper towel and kind of clean up this a little bit. But don't you like it when I do that on a palette like that, just to show you the way a little bit? Then also take this tool, take a little paper towel with some acetone, clean this up. Now pick up some white, just a little bit, put over here, and now you will get a chance to see me change brush. I'm still at the 10 millimeter liner, but at this time it probably be wise to switch to the 7 millimeter details. Why? Because I'm working with smaller curve. See, this is a big circle, but these are small curve. So I need 7 millimeter detail for shorter reach and more diverse in line direction. You can go straight, you can go curve, you can go really small curve, you can twist, so it's have more range of motion. I'm starting with these curve space right there. Oh, this make it nice. 10 millimeter would be slightly more difficult to do this. It's a nice little curve. And then these are for 10 millimeter, but since we add the 7 millimeter, we just use it to keep on going all the way down. We have to stop more often because it's a shorter brush. So for this big curve, that doesn't mean that we couldn't do it with this brush. It just requires more stop. So the right brush use will make your work effortless. It's just gonna gain you more confidence. Make it easy for you. Just a tad bit easy. It change everything, you guys. It'll help you more comfortable when you design. So you're not afraid of doing intricate, beautiful design. Just because you have the right tool to make it easy. See, this little curve right here, from here to here, that's short. Definitely need the 7 millimeters. Can get right to the point. Now this you can change. You can get back to the 10. Since this is the last step, up to you, up to how committed you are. Sometimes I don't feel like changing my brush just because I'm lazy. Sometimes I just feel like I need to keep the same brush. But this right here are just one tiny little detail. So I do that. Sometimes I keep the same brush even though it's a little more difficult. But you have to be good at math, because sometimes if you draw a design that more intricate than this, then you do want to spend a few seconds, like 1 or 2 seconds on switching brush. Because if you have a lot more details, you don't want to use that wrong brush. You have to switch. 7 millimeter detail will be slower when I do this right here. So I make a good choice by switching back to 10 for this big circle. Now, am I gonna use this 10 or the 7 to color? Gosh, no, I can use it for coloring like this. I can do it like this. Yeah, this is what I'm doing back in the old day. I take more gel and I do this. You guys, there is no way that I'm doing this now. Look at this. This make me don't want to do the design. I'm using this embossed brush or the coloring brush. Just depend on your spacing. Okay, just like the 7 and the 10 millimeter liner. So I'm using the embossed brush. Embossed brush are strong built and it can help you work with heavy gels. And for this, coloring in is make it fantastic. Just use the tip of your brush and it just do it much faster. And because it's not a liner brush, it's not pointy where it's digging into your gel. It's not like that. So, oh, you can load it too. You can spread it out and just load it in to your brush. Oh, it's even more fabulous when you do that. And just fill it in. You don't want too much gel. So at some point you can stop and you can squeeze more gel out and you can go back. Now this art gel is, you see how the surface is slightly bumpy a little bit? This art gel is fabulous because within like 15 seconds, it'll be all nice and smooth. That is what I like and I love about art gel, is because of that. It's gonna be all nice and smooth in just a second. Doesn't matter how you draw it, how you color it. That's one of the ability of art gel that people love. It's so smooth. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and cure this. 60 seconds. If you work on more than one finger, you might probably want to continue to wait for the art gel to cell level down here on the body just a little bit before you cure. Now, since I'm talking like that, it's already smooth. See that? I'm gonna go ahead and cure this now. We are going to do the eyes for sure, but let's go ahead and take out this orange art gel also. This orange right here. I'm gonna use that. How bright it is. Now, let me stop you right there, okay? Before you keep on going, let me stop you right there. Because people will jump on drawing the eyes and then drawing the hand, and they will forget to examine the looks. If you look at the eyes and the feet, it's shiny. it's shiny because I do it on top of matte top coat. So I matte this and then I put shiny detail to make it like 3-dimensional or embossed almost. That's gonna enrich the design. So that you have to save for last. You cannot do it yet because then you haven't top coated. So you have to do it after you top coat the matte. So that means that we have to go up here now, remove our eye from here to up here and talk about this hat. So this hat, obviously, that is one matte layer behind this. And then I put an embossed layer on top and then the white pom-pom right here on the top. So we have to start on this hat right away. Okay, this part and enough for this embossed line to be in here. And you can compare this line, the thickness of this line, to the facial feature right here is about from here to here. That's how big it is. So almost half a circle, the thickness of the hat. Remember, if you emphasize certain details on nail art design, especially with character, it's gonna make it really cute. So cat eyes, this is Ariel, magnetic cat eyes. And it's called Ariel because the little mermaid, she had red hair. So this is her hair. It's cat eye and it's glittery and reflective. Okay, I'm gonna use Ariel. And gotta clean my brush. Take this, wipe it out, excess gels. Put this back into this conditioning cleanser, which is right here. Brush conditioning cleanser. It's an oil base and the oil is friendly with gel. It doesn't contaminate and interfere with any gel product. So it's amazing because it's clean your brush and condition it at the same time. Now, from here to here is probably where the rim of the hat is. So the hat gotta be bigger than that. Gotta be right here. And curve down. Okay. Don't go in here and try to make this perfect because the rim of the hat gonna be right there. So worry about the top, see? You have to design smart. You know exactly what to do and what not to do just to save time. Okay. And then you need my nail art magnet. And I am going to hover over it just to declare it, just to deactivate it. So I can go from here and start to travel from the bottom up. Okay. And I'm gonna go over on this side and try to pull it top, bottom, left, right, just to condense this. Let me zoom in so you can see. Just to condense it into the center. And let me turn off the light so you can see it well. Okay. See, you can see it better. Because my room is very bright. So you couldn't see cat eye as its full potential. You see it really bright, but you couldn't see the glare and the depth well than when it's in a dim room. Like right now, I turn off the light and you can see it much better. And I'm keep finessing with it just because I'm very particular where the glare is and where people are watching the glare. Because I don't want it to be in the bottom because the rim gonna be there. So I most likely want to focus is on the top like this. And when I am good and satisfied with it, then I can cure this. 60-second cure. Now is the time to go ahead and matte everything. And I leave the light up just because the next step that I'm gonna do is going to have cat eye also. So I'm gonna put on matted. This one right here. Over the entire nails. Matted is a velvet finish. It's beautiful. You know how sometimes when people use matte top coat and the nails, after like a few weeks, it becomes shiny. You would not have that issue with matted. Matted amazingly velvet. Go ahead and kiss it for 60 seconds. Now we have to talk about this finish though. So velvet, you ever have a velvet surface and you drop water on it, but the water doesn't go anywhere, it just condenses on the surface? It because the velvet finish have a kind of like a soft protective layer on it that it hold whatever it is on there, just like the drop of water on the velvet finish. So when you take this out and it cure, after this, if you want to draw anything on it, you will want to take some alcohol or some acetone and wipe off the surface so your gels that you design will grip better. If not, it's just gonna shrivel up easily because of its velvet finish. So I hope the water on velvet effect is easier for you to understand, because what will happen if you don't wipe off this surface. It will shrivel up like water on a velvet surface. Now it's all nice and matte. I am going to take Ariel magnetic cat eye that we used before and paint it on. And this color is beautiful for Christmas. See, and this brush is help me to build volume, but it's also help find line, like these tricky detail on the side of the penguin. And I want the rim to be bigger. The bigger, the better. The cuter it is. Okay. Now, again, I'm zooming in so you can see. I am going to go on the top, go on the bottom, on the side. See, I condense it in the middle. You see that? It's hidden. It's distributed everywhere on the surface, and you just want to gather it up into the middle so we can use it. Use the glare of the magnet. Okay, maybe a circle tour just a little bit to see what happened. Just kind of pulled it to other centers. Okay, so just keep finessing with it. This is an odd shape. It's not like the whole nail. It's like a curved line, so it might be tricky. It might take several turns to push it into the center. Plus, this cat eye is not a regular cat eye. It's a reflective glitter cat eye, so it's heavier. Okay, now I'm happy with this. Cure this. Now I turn the light back on. And we are going to either emboss this. We can emboss this right now, or draw the eye and the mouth. It's up to you in whichever order you decide to do it with. So let's go ahead and emboss this hat rim right here with clear embossed jelly. Okay, you want to lay it down like this and knock it over the table a few times to condense the gel to the bottom, so all the air bubble are gonna go up here on the top. Okay, and of course I'm gonna use this brush, emboss brush, for embossed design. Clean this. I'm wiping it on the paper towels. And then I'm cleaning up excess gels. And then wiping the excess oil off the brush. And taking this out. So right now, everything is top coat except for this rim that I just do. I just make right here. It doesn't have top coat. So I am put embossed gel on this, and embossed gel doesn't need any top coat. So you are done with the rim after this. So I'm squeezing just a little bit of gel out, and I am using embossed brush, but this time I am neatly distribute this throughout all the edges to cover the perimeter of the brim of the hat. Carefully. The reason why I don't put a lot of gel out, because if you do, it will be very difficult to do this, to cover the perimeter of the brim or whatever it is, whatever shape you're trying to design. It will be very difficult to be nice and neat like this. So not to be out of line. Have completely fill this up neatly. Need a moderate amount of gels. Now, after this, you can start building this really big. So, see, the second part is leaving this wet and squeeze a lot of gel on here. So this first layer gonna help guide the bead out. And if it starts spreading out so fast, if it starts to collapse in so fast, you can tilt the nail downward and gravity will pull the gel toward the center so it doesn't spread out too much on you. Ready? Squeeze it out as you move from one place to another. Don't try to maneuver it to what is touching the edge. Don't do that. The gel will do it for you. The first layer. Okay, star. So you turn it upside down to start. So you can like reach for a brush, for example. When you're ready, then turn it up. See? When you need time to think, again, just tilt your client hand down and start. Maybe you have too much gel on here that you need to like wipe up the excess. Whatever reason it is, start. It's not gonna drip. The gel is very thick. It's not gonna drip. But it's gonna pour it into the center so it don't spread. Now, when you're ready, then you can cure. Okay? And if you have a flash cure light, more than welcome to use it now, because if you put your client hand in the lamp, if you don't do it yourself and she have to do it, she might not do it fast enough. That it's gonna spread too much. So be careful when you're doing that. Okay, so right now, I am ready to put in the machine and cure. This gel cure for 60 seconds. I am going back with my palette of art gel, black and white art gel here that I use. Okay, and the brush, you can use embossed brush. You can use a liner brush, but a liner brush, you have to like actually draw a circle, even though this is a small circle. It's a circle, you have to draw it with a liner brush. Embossed brush, however, when it's built, you might just squeeze a little bit and it becomes a circle. So this is a smarter choice. It's embossed brush. Going in, this is done. The rim is done. Don't touch it immediately. When it first start cooking, it's still, it could be not shiny if you touch it now. So let it cool down before you touch it. Then you're gonna go for the eyes right in the middle of the circle, not too far out. Very close to the center, you squeeze out an eye. Make sure leave room for the forehead. That will make the penguin cute. Okay, now the hard part is to make this circle match. Better to go slow first. Just touch it lightly, little by little. And it will be a bad day for you if you accidentally make this eye bigger, like what I just did. So now either you finish this circle with a bigger eyes and then you come here and you compensate it, or you can take a silicone tool and just push it in, just like that, just to make it smaller, just to fix your mistake. Okay, you're ready to cure. Go ahead and flash cure it. You are going in for orange. Okay, orange art gel. You take it out. I'm not gonna scoop it out because this is minor detail. I don't need much orange art gel. So I come over here and I draw a little mouth. Remember, don't go too far down. It's gonna look weird, like a mouse. You just need to go right there in the middle, just slightly underneath the eyes, and you draw a leaf shape. Remember, don't draw a oval. Draw a leaf shape. Okay, you can build it up just a little bit, just a little. Art gel will allow you to do that. 2 little feet. Now this can be like an oval shape. One stroke liner will be more opaque than art gel, but art gel will allow you to leave it without top coat. These are 2 completely different type of gels. Of course, all the color are different. Eventually, you're gonna have both anyway. But to start out, it's better to start out with art gels. It's easy to use. Cure this. Now, don't forget the wings. And remember, I say art gel, you can do just a slightly thicker, not like an embossed design, but just slightly thicker design. But when it comes to black, be careful, because black are very opaque in colors, so don't be too thick. Start from here, draw out 2 little leaf shape. It's black on black, but you're still able to see it because whatever underneath it is matte. And now this part is shiny. See that? That can make it more realistic. Usually black on black is awful. You couldn't see anything. But now, see that? You can see the wings just as good. See that? Because up layer, the way you layer it. Now, you need to take a small brush. It could be 7mm details. And you dip into some white art gel and you give some reflection in the eyes. Okay. One big one on top, a small one in the bottom. Look how cute it is. Cure. Up until this point, you can flash cure, but now is the time to full cure everything because we are ready for this little pom-pom right here. And it have acrylic pour over it. That's why you have to finish everything. And the eye, I'm going to put on some top coat to level it out to make it nice and beady. Shiny top coat is what I use. And I'm going to use coloring brush. Okay, tap in some shine. Make it beady. Cause you know it's black and then they have some white dot over it, so it's not even. So I'm just even out everything. Okay, make sure everything is clear. 60 seconds. For this next step, the white pom-pom, I need 2 brush. I need coloring brush and I need 7mm details. Coloring brush first. I'm gonna clean both brush. Clean this with paper towel. Dry clean it with paper towel. And then clean it in brush conditioning cleanser. And then clean up the excess oil. Okay. We're done with orange art gel and we're done with black art gels. Okay, the pom-pom, I'm use coloring brush first because I dip in white art gels and it go whoop, just like that. Fast, easy. It doesn't take time. When I go teach, you have no idea how many people use a wrong brush and take like a decade to do this simple little circle right here. So now I'm gonna go out like that to make it feathery, but art gel are cell leveling, so try to do it fast and try to have clear acrylic right now. I have this bottle right here and I have this cute little spoon right here, just ready right there, just like that. When I do it on my client, that's how I do it. I got ready, close this so acrylic doesn't get on your gels, and get ready. This brush, you don't have to dip in any gel. You just have a dry brush like this. That's fun too. And start feathering. Make sure everything is dry. Okay, feather it out. See? The reason why you don't need any more gel because you're using what already on here. Okay, you can twist and turn your client hand however you want just to get a perfect angle for you. Okay, just feather it out. I find this process, what the word I'm looking for, satisfying. I find it satisfying just to do this. I love feathering things. Okay, when it's cute enough, you go ahead and pour acrylic on it. Now, if you need some more gel, you can always add some more gel on. Because when you feather out, you need quite a bit amount of gel just to feather out. So you can add some more gel on here before you start to, so the color can be more even, and then you can go ahead and pour on acrylic. Let me go ahead and pour out some feather over here. Okay, ready? Pour it on. Pour it on. Okay, most people, they will just tap it a little bit and they will cure it. But you see, the acrylic just land on top. If you cure it, the top, the outer layer of this design gonna be crispy and hard, but the inside gonna be wet. You don't want that. You want everything to be solid. So you see how it becomes shiny as we're speaking right now? It because acrylic is sinking down to the bottom. So you have to keep pulling it on. Tap, tap, tap. See, it's matte right now, but it's going to get shiny. It becomes shiny because acrylic are slowly soaking into the gel. So now wet gel is emerging and you're going to pour it until there is no more shininess. That means that you know the acrylic is completely packed inside the gels. That make it like a 3D design. Have several benefits. Number one is solid non-chips. It will last forever. Number two is it's gonna get bigger, which means it's gonna get more realistic looking, get more 3D looking. And number three is white doesn't count, but when you use dark color like black and you pour clear acrylic on, sometimes there might be excess powder on the surface that it make it ashy looking. It don't show color at its richness. So when you pour it properly like this, you can dust it like this. See, you can dust it while it's wet because it's packed with acrylic. Then you can cure. 60-second cure for this. And we just need to pop in some rhinestone and we're done for that design. I'm using Crystal Magic Glue for this. And there's several methods. I can just take a nail tip and turn it upside down and pour some glue on. I don't do that on a nail art palette because it's dry and then it makes the palette unattractive. So yeah, this is what I can do. Isn't that creative? Then I'm picking out some crystal. Taking this nail out, make sure you give it one good dust. There. And then I'm using this but it already has some glue. I need to cut it out. I'm using an old 𝐀𝐫𝐭 clipper to clip out this hard dry glue. So now I can just dip it in glue and have one here, one here. I don't use gel when I work with individual crystal like this. Glue is much better because it doesn't come up. Gel is good with group crystal where it makes application easier. Because with group crystal, you don't want to tap 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. You want to just apply gel on and then start bedazzle. What this is scatter crystal. So that's different type of crystal. Require different attention and material. 1, 2, there's something for everything, and as long as you follow the step properly, the material properly, it'll be way easy for you to just do any design. You're gonna sell pretty fast by paying attention to what I use. This is done. Look how beautiful this is. This design are easy too, but there is the trick in there. The trick is in the heart shape. So we are going to start out with the second design. Let's take this out of the way. Oh, and I forgot to tell you about the Crystal Magic Glue Dryer. It's optional. You have about 30 seconds to a minute for this to be completely dry, or you can just tap on the surface like this with the dryer and it can dry instantly the moment the dryer is evaporate from the surface like that. Okay. And how you test it, you take the brush and you kick the crystal and it doesn't move. That means it's dry completely. So that's another option for you. I'll put it right here. Let you compare it. Isn't that cute? Put here. Put this away. So I'm having nothing else. Okay. But this time, I'm still gonna apply it. I'm still gonna try to make everything clear. But you should know that the only thing visible is gonna be a negative heart space later on. So this hole now, you're gonna apply this on. And you are going to take out the magnet. Okay. Wherever the heart is, you're only gonna see it right there. So, right there. I am going to demagnetize it completely. And then, I'll wake it up. Go slow. Before I go like this, I go really fast. It's not gonna help you. It's gonna be very inconsistent to how your glare gonna become. Because remember the magnet, every position shift like that is effective to how the glare gonna be. It is influencing it. So trying to be slow. Okay. There. And I'm going over this side so I can like pour it toward the left. And if it doesn't pour, if it push, then remember, tilt your brush just a little bit will make all the difference. Okay. And then I want to make sure it's land on this side and the top too. Ooh, yes. But I want more. I know that if I keep playing with it, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. It's just up to you. See? Whenever you satisfy, you care. But this is what I'm talking about. It's hidden. It distributes all over the surface, and your job is to condense, to put it all the way to the center and wake it up. So now you cure this, 60-second cure. So now, of course, Ariel magnetic cat eyes. And I like to put it out on a palette. Before we paint, I'm going to warn you, just because there's color here, and it's missing a little bit right here, you would think that when you magnetize it, both going to move at one piece, but it's not, because it's two separate pieces. So I'm going to do the top first, magnetize it, do the bottom, magnetize it. That's how I'm going to do that. Because if it's not one whole piece, it's not going to magnetize together, if that makes sense. Make sure I have enough. And I am going to choose an embossed brush. Make sure that it's clean. And then clean up excess gels. Soak up the excess oil. And we are ready to draw the heart. Let's draw the top part first. Start out with a V. Find your center and then start drawing a V. Okay? And then now all you have to do is curve out on both sides. It's help if you look at the silver color instead of at the red color when you curve. It helped me a lot. If I looking at a different size of the colors. If you have struggle with dimension, you can stop. And I'm gonna change my brush. I'm gonna take the 7mm detail just to get really pointy up in here. Really pointy. There. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm looking at the silver, because if you listen to me, you're looking at the silver, you know that it's even. See that? I'm zooming in. See the silver are even. Okay? They are level the same way. Now, if I'm looking at the red, it's going to mess me up. Look at the red. It's not even. See, don't look at this. Don't look at the red. It's irrelevant. Look at the silver. Same. If I'm looking at the red and I draw and I make sure my red is perfect, when I color in at the end, my silver could be crooked all the way. So be smart. Don't looking at the wrong size of colors. It can really mess you up. You would take forever and not drawing a perfect heart, and you would question yourself. You'd be like, why? How? But I'm telling you, if you look at the red, it's going to mess with you when you draw this design. So look at the silver. Look at the platinum colors. And everything will be just fine. See that? It make more sense when I'm finished the heart. Right now, you only see half, the top half, the heart. So, okay. Now, I need a magnet. And of course, I am demagnetizing it. And I'm waking it up. Let me zoom in. And I turn the light off so you can see the glare more. Since this is a different kind of cat eye. Condense it on both sides. And then on the top too. Okay. And on the bottom. And you can keep going. It's up to how greedy you are with the brightness. You can just keep going. And when you're happy, you can cure this. 60-second cure. Okay, now I'm gonna do the bottom of the heart. And this time, I'm gonna look at the red and not the silver. And I'm gonna show you how awful it is, okay? I'm gonna start right here and I'm gonna paint it up just like that. Okay. And if I know how to make it awful, sometimes it just turns out perfect, but I hope it's not. So, okay. Okay, I don't think it turned out awful, but okay. It not turned out awful, but if I look at the red, you see how even this red is. It doesn't matter how even this red is, because I see the silver, this needs to be a little higher. Okay, I do it on purpose. I try to make it awful, but it's not. It doesn't look awful. But I hope you know what I'm talking about. If the red is even, it doesn't matter because it's gonna be color in. You're not drawing the red. You are drawing the negative space, so you have to get your eyes on the silver. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Okay. Now, I am going to paint it in and magnetize it. And then we're going to talk about what we're going to do next because it's very interesting. Put this in. Okay. Then we are going to grab a magnet. I'm going to magnetize this. So swipe over it, demagnetize it, and then go over here. I actually gotta do it on all four corners because see, it's just a different type of cat eye. It's heavier. It doesn't move like the other cat eye. Because it's packed with reflective glitter, so it's very, very heavy. Okay. This is, to me, an amazing cat eye for Christmas. Because it's so extra. It's not just cat eye, it has all the bell and whistle on it. Okay. Now cure this 60 seconds. Now we gotta go over here and talk about what we're gonna do next because see, we have crystal and we have snowflake. Which one we doing first? Okay. So here's the story. The snowflake are embossed, meaning I'm putting clear acrylic over it to make it velvet and kind of 3D. So of course I have to top coat before the snowflake, right? So when you do crystal like this, it's best to do the crystal first and then top coat around it. Because if you were to top coat first and do a crystal on top, then when you seal it, if you're not careful, it might be lumpy on the side of the crystal and it's just unattractive to the design. So typically, I will do the crystal line first and then I'll top coat around it. But if I were to do the crystal line first, okay, and then top coat, then I'm doing the white snowflake. And how I'm gonna do it really close to the crystal? Am I gonna like accidentally paint on the crystal and make it unattractive because the snowflake are very close to the crystal. Okay, so if I were to do the crystal first, the snowflake gonna be awful when I'm trying to get close to the crystal. So that's a no-no. So what I actually have to do is top coat everything and then draw snowflake on it and then put the crystal after that. And then when I seal, I have to be careful. So that is a smarter way to do it. And then don't forget about this emboss. Over here, the heart is embossed. So if I do the crystal first and then emboss after, it's going to be a disaster. Because when I emboss, it's going to touch the crystal. So that's also a no-no. So the order is top coat, snowflake, emboss heart, and then crystal. Okay, just explain that for you just in case one day you construct your own design. It requires your own process of thinking and such. That is when you have to know how to maneuver properly to avoid accidents or just avoid having a design that most likely you're going to struggle with just because you design in the wrong orders. A correct order will mean the difference between a successful design and a failing design. Just a different layers. Hear this. So I top coat that first. Now I'm doing the snowflake. So I'm going to choose white art gel, of course. And 10mm liners. I'm taking this out. Same old palette. Putting it right here. And I want to wait patiently for the top coat to cure. Usually I can cheat. I can just cure it for like 30 seconds and continue doing what I do because it's not a finished cure. But since this gonna have acrylic over it, you want this top coat to be completely clear before you even start drawing. Just because if it's not finished curing the top coat and you draw on this white and snowflake and put clear acrylic over it, it might stick under the top coat. I've done that before, so I just want to warn you. Okay, this one out. Dry, right? Everything's dry. Make sure you test it first. Then I am going to take out this 10mm brush. We start out with that, but we might change it later. Just depends. If we're no longer comfortable with it, that means that we have to change it. Press and stroke it in really fine. Okay, the reason is when I take the gels, I only whip a little bit on the head. So when I put it down, it's gone. Most of it's gone. So when I stroke it in, it's really skinny. Just because I only use the tip of my brush and the majority part of my gel that are bulky is near the head is gone. So right now, when I pulling in, it's really nice and fine. I don't want to start drawing these details next to it. I want to start down here. Or I might not even want to do that. I might finish the top, put clear acrylic over it, and then go to the bottom and do it separately. Since this is a slippery surface, you know what that means? That means that art gel or cell level plus the surface is slippery. If you take a long time to do this, it might not be good. Because these snowflake, when I drew it like this, if I take a long time, it might blend together. And that's fine too. But it might be slightly more attractive when it doesn't blend together. And when I say blend together, I'm not meaning the whole thing gonna blend into a puddle. I'm just meaning the like this, like these two lines are blend together, which is a minor details. But you gotta know how to expect disaster to happen and prevent it. Even though it might never happen, you still need to do your best to present disaster. So if you're smart, you're not going to continue the bottom. That's just too long. You don't, it's unnecessary. So you're going to pour acrylic on it right now. It's just very unnecessary to do the bottom too. Just because these background are clean, you can pour acrylic on it and then working on maybe the other fingers. When you're working on your client, you're going to have another finger identical on the other hand, right? So you might want to work on that and wait for it to blend in. But since this is like a perspective of a press-on artist, and since I'm working on one nails, then I might pour acrylic over this like this, and then now I can work on the bottom because this have acrylic on it. It's kind of lock it in already. So it just depends on what you do. If you work on a client or if you're working on a press-on piece. See, everything is variable. Everything can be different depending on what you do. And it don't have to be different. You can just do the same thing. Doesn't matter what you do. You can do the same thing. But it's all for your comfort though. If it's slightly easier, it's going to make your design more comfortable. So that's why I have many ways to do many different things. Because each of this way is constructed toward it make the design slightly a bit easier. Where you don't have to spend a lot of energy, just to accomplish that design. You don't have to stress yourself out. A lot of people, when they're looking at the design that I make, they already stress out before they even do it. Just because there will be confusion, like, oh, how is it look like this? How are you going to do this? And all they have is normal product. They don't have a unique product like I do. So they have to try to make it work. And that's when things can become quite awful. Tap it out. Okay, you already know when you're trying to make something work, you might be able to do it, but the result not going to look as seamless and the stress in it, so it doesn't even worth it at all. Stress over a design. See, everything is easy. Now, I also have to explain that most people, they will just throw it in the machine like that. But the reason why I keep pouring it, because it's only the acrylic only on the top surface of the design. It's not soaking into the design. So imagine you walking on the frozen lake and you just fell under just because the top part are crispy, but the bottom are still wet, like the gel. So it's gonna chip on your client easy, and they're not gonna pay you more money. If you can guarantee the design lasts, they're gonna love you and pay you money. But if it's not functionable, they're not gonna want it the same thing again. So you're gonna make sure you keep pouring it, because the acrylic gonna condense and soak into the gels. And when it does, you can tell because the design will be shiny again. It means that wet gel is start to emerge on the surface. So you gotta keep pouring. So you can pack all of it with acrylic. That way, there is a couple of important points like I mentioned before. One is that the design will be embossed, get bigger. And two is it doesn't chip on you. And three, you can dust this. Just because white is forgiven. But if you do I love to do green sweater now. I love green sweater now. But it's so hard to get a beautiful green because this acrylic, it can make the design look dull, the color. So before you cure this, you gotta take a fluffy brush. It's available on my website. Dust it. Yes, dust in wet design. How about that? If you dust it and it smudge on you, that means it doesn't have enough acrylic on it. It's still wet. So when you can dust the design like this, and the design is seem fine, that means that you are good on acrylic. And doing this like this, it makes the design beautiful. Look at it when I dust it. See, it doesn't have this weird clear film acrylic around the design. You might notice that if you don't dust it beforehand. But I dust it beforehand and it's beautiful. I'm gonna cure this now. So when I take it out, I am gonna do the 3D heart next. So I am taking out clear embossed jelly, okay? Non-cell level, it's cell level, so it's nice and smooth. Now, I'm gonna tell you how you gonna do it, and it's gonna be wrong to do it like this. If you take this beautiful heart silhouette and you start fill in gels, okay, and you just gonna start building it up, it will never work. It will never work because look at these sharp points right here. Look how sharp this is. Okay, a cell level gel, it's gonna start leveling, meaning a detail like this, it's gonna start leveling and blending into like a diamond shape or like a teardrop shape. But this point gonna be gone, especially if you go really big and bulky and you build it up really high. It's gonna cell level very fast, and this nice sharp point right here gonna be gone. So your tricks, I'm gonna draw it out so you can understand it much better. Okay, like this, a heart silhouette. Okay, if you start filling it out, this point gonna start filling together, that you're gonna end up with this. See how it start get dull? It's not sharp like this. And eventually you might end up with this, which is unfortunate. So our tricks is to do half. A teardrop is simple, right? And then do another half. Another teardrop, that's simple. That will give you a sharp point in here. And then the last part is to just a thin coat over the surface to get rid of this groove right here. Okay, ready to see the magics? Now, I want to take embossed jelly and go ahead and just put it out a little, put a little amount out. See, if it's hard to squeeze out, that means I'm laying it down for a long time, so I have to do this. Just for the gel to run down. The longer you use them, the more you gotta do that to focus the gel in the bottom part. Okay, you don't need much. Now close it. Let it stand like this so it can start going down. And you want a embossed brush. Now, don't go with too much gel at first. You know the rules. And for the people that doesn't know the rules, here is the rules. First, you painted a silhouette of a heart. This heart is really big. The other heart is small. Maybe so you can see better. Okay, just half. Just a teardrops, just like that. The reason is with a moderate amount of gel, it's easy to draw the whole thing out. Then if you have a lot of gel, then it's difficult to draw the shape. So now you already have the shape. You're taking this gel and you just squeeze our bulk amount and then you cure this, okay? When you squeeze this out, the layer that you pre-drawn going to help glide this gel out neatly. Okay, you have this. See how it's gliding now? And you can take the brush and just guide it out a little bit down here because it's a point, so it's more difficult than the blunt spot right here. Now you can tilt it down, stop. If you're busy talking like I do right now, and you don't want it to spread out, you put it down. Especially if it's really high, then that's necessary. The higher it is, the more it can collapse on you. You turn it up like this and check it. I feel like it needs a little more gels, don't you think? Add a little more on the top part right here. And when I go down, I stop squeezing because I don't need any more gel down the bottom. Star again, just star for time. Okay, see, the top is really big. You might want to tilt your client hand a little bit upward like this so the bottom can be a little smaller. Here. So this is what I'm talking about. Anytime that there is a blunt part, okay, it can be as big as possible. But anytime it's going into a point like this, you don't want it big. It will ruin the shape. And for those that file a stiletto nail before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If it's too thick at the tip, it's never become pointy like stiletto. So be aware of the dimension and the shape that you're drawing. Yes, there is a lot into it. Now, I do it on purpose so you can know what you're aware. When you take it out, do you see what's going on here? So on the side, there's a lot of gel. Why is it? Because the nail is curved. When I put it into the machine, it's running down. And it's condensed right here on the edge. So to avoid this, when you put it in the machine, you want to tilt it like this. So it can maintain the balance. Like that, see that? So the gel, instead of dripping down here, it can drip down here, which is right in the middle of the heart. So you can do that. And if this happened to you, don't panic. You can always, again, paint it a thin layers of gel. Just like you did before. Make sure you completely cover everything. Even if you just put a little bit right here, you still need to completely cover it to make everything seamless, like one entire piece. Then you put in some gels right up here, just a little bit. That's it. See, even a little bit of it like that, you still have to paint everything just to make sure everything is cohesive and blendy. Okay, so now put it in. Now you already fix it. So now we have this. Okay, it's still a beautiful teardrop. Now our little disasters will change the look of our design quite a bit, because now this heart is nicely, neatly right in here. Even if it's small, it's leave a little more space for crystal, so you can see the entire crystal wrapped around this heart. This is gonna be different because this heart is far more embossed, so it's covered the side, so you only see the top and the bottom part of the crystal. Just so you can aware that something like that can change your design completely. You don't have to alert your client. If that happens, it's still a beautiful design. They're not going to notice that part. Only you as a professional will notice that if the heart is not too big, then the crystal going to look this way. And if the heart is too big, then the crystal going to look a certain way. You will know the difference, but your client won't. So that is all the things that you can consider doing a 3D design like this. Okay, now take our clear embossed jelly and put it in. And remember, this time don't put it flat into the machine like this, because it will start dripping on the side. Instead, put it into the machine like this. So gravity is not gonna put on the. It's not gonna drip on the side, because that's not how gravity works. It doesn't work sideways. It works down. And then you tilt it in like this, it's just gonna pour down toward itself. You see what I'm talking about? It's gonna pour down here. Instead of, because that's how gravity is from the bottom, right? It's pulling down. So if you put it in like this, it will pour down to this side, which is the side. But if you tilt it and put it in, it cannot go to the side anymore, because the side is not the downward direction where gravity is. I hope that makes sense. God, that's a lot of explanation for a little detail like that. But when you understand it, it will click. And it will change the way you design forever if you're lucky enough to understand it. I feel like that's not something that everybody is capable of understanding. And you're still gonna be able to do great design. It's just the one that understand it gonna have better control of it. Okay, now cure this. And then take it out. And see, beautiful. Now, one thing that I do also, and I want to share with you, is that when I put it in, I'm just not going to put it in like this and just leave it. I actually look inside. You can do that with your client. You can grab a hand, put it in, and you can like start to like move it around, because the bigger the petal is, the more it's going to like shape. If you are too familiar with glass blowing, you are familiar with that concept. So I'm keep moving just to adjust it. If it seems to be more or lopsided, you can keep adjusting it while it's going into the light. Just as much knowledge as possible, just to prepare you. When things go wrong, you need to know why. When things go wrong, and if you know why, you're not going to panic. I never get panicked because I know exactly. If something goes wrong, I know why. Why it is, because I am prepared. If you don't know why, you're going to go into a full panic. You don't want that. So now I have two beautiful half piece of the heart. I just need to connect these together by filling in more gels. It will level out everything and you're not going to see the mark anymore. See it? Isn't that a beautiful concept of designing? Making 3D objects so easy to do. But you gotta follow rules though. This is not for freestyler. This is strategic. People that love to freestyle need to be careful with this. You need an exact knowledge to be able to control this 3D element. When you control this 3D element, then the whole new world gonna open up for you. Allow you to do more impressive design. Okay, so that is my first layer. It's called I call it a slip layer, meaning I'm just covering this surface entirely just to make sure that I cover everything. I'm not missing out on anything. Now, I noticed that this side is not as big as this side, obviously, because this side I do it twice. So I already have a slip layer on, everything is smooth. Before I cure, I can have like a little bit of gels right in here. And I gotta like watch it because this metal part gonna start blending. Okay, it's not gonna blend fast because this is a thin layer. If I were to start out the whole heart really thick without drawing two separate pieces, then it's gonna blend really fast. But they're gonna blend slow because this layer are thin when I apply it on. Now you can leisurely go ahead and put in the machine. And look at this. Look at this beautiful heart. See how amazing everything is constructed. And I have news for you. Not many designers can do this. This is one of my original way to dissect a 3D objects. And you're going to do this. Okay, you're going to do this. You're going to follow everything. And one of two things going to happen. Once, you're going to end up with a beautiful heart like this. Two, it's going to be a disaster. And if it's a disaster, you know that I told you every single thing to prevent it. So go backtrack, and accomplish this beautiful heart. Now we are going to bling it out. And unlike the penguin, which we use glue, this time we're going to use gels. It's impossible to use glue with this design because this crystal have bead on both sides. you're not gonna use glue for that. It's not realistic. You're gonna use a clear texture gel because clear texture gel is non-moving gel. So it's gonna keep everything in place. Take it out. And when you practice this hard, I'm gonna be realistic. You're not gonna get it in the first try. Nobody really get it on the first try. When I'm trying something new, I always have like what I call it a failed scientific experiment. I always have that a whole bunch. Expect that, please. Don't be like all defeated if you don't get it on the first try, because it's normal. It's normal not to get it on the first try. I don't want you to start doing the hard and then be discouraged. You're gonna have at least like 4 or 5 hard failure before you get a good one. But when you get one good one, it will change your nail game. You're not gonna just learn how to do a perfect heart. When your heart become perfect, you can do anything. You can do star shape, you can do diamond shape, you can do everything, because now you know the drill, you know the concept. So be optimistic when you realize that you're not study just for the heart design. That'd be sad. I'm using the heart design because it's difficult. It's really difficult to do the heart. But when you do the heart, you can do everything else. It will make you a better artist. I need smaller diamonds, so I'm gonna wait on that. Go over here. Something going on here. Okay. Count your crystal. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. Sometimes you might have enough room for one more, just because sometimes you design, you might be a little lopsided and you have room for one more on this side. Do not add one more, because then that will really show people that you're lopsided. If it's 4 on this side, do 4 on the other side. That's it. Now, beads. Okay, always pour it out from the jar. Don't dip your brush into the jar, because then that makes your beads stuck together. It's not gonna be good. And your brush, embossed brush, I already dipped into clear texture gels. You don't want to take that and dip into the bead. That'd be messy. You use a paper towel, you clean this, so it's just slightly sticky. So now you can put on the bead. And that's exactly why I don't use glue. It will be a nightmare if you use glue. By now, you're gonna freak yourself out and you're not gonna accomplish the design. So just remember, people ask me, Tino, do you like glue more or gel more? I tell them both. There's time for everything. There's time for gel, there's time for glue. Don't just pick one. A successful designer knows how to maneuver anything and everything in the right moment. Don't just learn one thing and ignore the rest. As long as it have to do with nails and nail art, try to understand it. See, just pick up my bead, just because I have proper amount of gels. When I pick it up, it sticks to my brush, of course, because there's a little bit amount of gel on there. And when I release it, it getting off my brush really quick, because I don't have a lot of gel on there neither. If I have a lot of gel on my brush, it's not going to release easily. It's going to be like a stubborn child that doesn't want to go to kindergarten on the first day. It's going to try to cling on to you. You don't want that. You want it to go. So having a proper amount of gel help a lot. See? Beautiful. Just like fine jewelry. Go ahead and draw on the other line without caring, because I want to show off to you that this gel doesn't need to be clear in between. It holds everything so well. That's what makes it a perfect gel because it's do everything. It's embossed, it stick to chrome, it do chrome design. It's also do crystal. And you know, that's why I don't have a crystal gel, because it's so boring to just have a gel that just do crystal alone. Because I used crystal gel before, it's so difficult to draw it out. It's so thick. Like when I just take the brush and I just whip these two lines right here smoothly, you cannot do that with crystal gel. It's difficult. So that's why I love this gel, because it can do more than just one thing. Now, okay, nothing, never mind. I'm about to say that I might be lopsided, but I'm not. Sometimes I wish I'm lopsided so I can just show you, you know, but I'm not lopsided. I try my best to make as much mistake as possible when I'm teaching you, because I know how to deal with mistake. So when I'm making mistake, that is a golden moment right there. So you can learn how I'm dealing with it. Then I need some beads. Okay, I need one bead right here, but I don't have gel, so I'm gonna leave it alone and add gel when I'm done. I'm just not gonna stop everything I do and add a little bit of gel and then put the bead right there and then keep on going. That's just a messy working process. You need orders. Because when you work, you don't want to think all the time. You know, and with order, you don't have to think all the time. You can just, like right now, I'm just automatically going through it because everything is repeated. And being a nail tech working on client, you have to communicate with them. If you like to talk, that's great. But if you don't like to talk, you do know that requires a lot of focus just to talk. And you don't have time to do that when you have to think about your design so hard. So you need a system to what you can repeat it. Like this. I'm just repeatedly putting on bead. I can even fall asleep a little bit while I'm doing this. If I'm pulling up long hour, single mom, long hour, I can just fall asleep while I'm doing this bead. I can just rest my eye a little bit. That if your client stop yapping, usually when you do an intricate thing like that, that's when they start talking about everything all at once. Okay, now let's come to my last bead. Now, I need a little gel right here. So this is the time. Put a little gel right there. And then put some bead here. And that's it. Get this hair off. Clear this. Now, I already tell you that everything is top coat. The snowflake are already embossed. There's no more top coat needed except for sealing this line. Because as I say, when you use glue, it's forgiven. But gels, it just help holding the crystal. It's not help securing it. You need to secure this. You need to add a little gel around each rhinestone, but not literally. They're strict for it. Right now, I'm not gonna take gel and go like around this stone and then around this stone and around this stone. That's not realistic. It's gonna take forever. So usually I would like to do this. So I like to start out with a bead and just tap a drop on the bead. Okay. That will help cover all four sides of the crystal. That will be enough to hold it. If you want to be fancy, if you're insecure, then you take a little bit of gel and go round, round, round. More risky. Okay, if you have too much gel, it's going to spill out onto the foundation. You don't want that. So the method of the beading is fine. But I'm going to share with you this. It's going to be fire. You're going to love this. I am going to take top coat and cover this heart. Okay. Now, this heart doesn't need any more top coat. It's already have embossed jelly on, so it's good. But I'm going to top coat it for a reason. The reason is it's going to drip down here. And when it does, it's gonna help me seal the inside of the crystal line. It's gonna be fantastic. But stay away from this slit in the middle right here. You don't want it to start to blend on you. Okay, now start filling up that heart on the left side. Okay, and when you get near the edge right here, this is your moment. I'm gonna do this side too, actually, before I'm doing the next step. Okay, now this is your moment. Okay, go near the crystal, and all that goodness from the upside of the heart is gonna start dripping. And when it drips, it's gonna drip into these crevices right here. That's where all the sealing need to be done, is in all these crevices right here. But you do this in such an easy way that are stretch free. See that? Because if I am trying to be tricky and go in the middle of the heart and the crystal on these tiny little lines, this is a nightmare. So I just do the entire heart and let it drip down. See, this is a smarter way to do it. Hear this? So now half of it is already sealed. The inside part, nice and sealed of the crystal. So the outside, I can be moderate. I can just take top coat and tap onto the bead to seal the bead. And that will seal the crystal. Certain part of the crystal. See, it doesn't need to be all around the stone. It just needs to hold the stone down like a prong. If you have jewelry, you understand it much better. It's like a prong to hold your diamond, basically. Yeah, like that. So bead is dreams when it comes to crystal. Now, I am done with this and with this. So now you know the process. And this design right here, there's a whole lesson for that too. So don't forget to subscribe us on YouTube at 𝐀𝐫𝐭. And everything that I use today is available on www.𝐀𝐫𝐭.shop. And until next time, bye-bye.